Hi Aquarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for December 2014, and yes, didn't that go quickly? Well, I think it did anyway. It seems like we were here only yesterday and here we are again. So until the 22nd, the Sun is in quite a progressive area for you, an area where you can feel as though the ball is rolling on something that maybe you've been waiting for a while, and or you've been hoping for a while, maybe not even expecting it, but hey presto, here it is. You know, this is the area of Uranus, your ruling planet, so it's quite a future orientated phase as well. So it might mean that you're getting your head around new technology or something new anyway. If it's not technology, networking is very favored too. And also for connecting with friends, for connecting with buddies, associates, family, just anyone really that is important to you or could become important to you. And Venus is also in that same area along with Mercury. So Mercury underpins the period in which to generally sort of sit within the group or with friends, and chew the fat, you know, put the world to rights. Others could find you articulate and interesting, even inspiring. In fact, why not, you know, inspiring. And it's quite an experimental time. So you might be testing the waters on something. You might be putting your toe in the water and seeing what the temperature is. Venus is in there as well, so you feeling supported, you feeling like you're in a team, or maybe in a one-to-one as you move forwards, or maybe you're helping somebody move forwards. Maybe we can turn that around and say, actually, it's them who are helping you, and or rather you who are helping them, and others are looking to you in some way for that facilitation, and you pooling your knowledge, you pooling your forces and resources and your know-how, maybe you sharing. All of this is very much up Aquarius's street, actually. And then each one of these, the two planets and the Sun, each one moves out with about a week between each one of them. So the first one to move out of that area into the area I call the chrysalis or the cocoon. It's kind of a private background area, which is more sensitive. It's sort of emotions are more easily felt, is Venus. And Venus moves out of there on the 11th, and then she'll be transiting there for the rest of the month, putting you more in touch with your deeper feelings, and maybe you mulling things over to do with your feelings or to do with your emotions, because feelings for me are different to emotions. Emotions are where we are subject to a wave of sensitivity, a wave of just maybe it comes from the unconscious in a way, and then feelings are like senses, instinct, that kind of thing. So getting you more into whatever they are to you, you're more in touch with them. And that will be from Venus, first of all, from the 11th. And it's a good idea for you to be getting into nurturing pursuits, maybe within this gang, within this group, you know, touching base with yourself, because the other two will still be in the area of friends and groups, which is obviously over the wire stuff as well. But then Mercury peels out of there and comes into this very background area, meaning that your thinking gets deeper, you're zoning out sometimes, things are up in the air, you're not exactly certain about this or that or the other thing. Imagination and intuition is working better, but also you could be beavering away at some kind of intellectual pursuit or academic or educational, or maybe it's nothing like that. Maybe it's a work of the imagination where you're using different mediums, working through this or that or the other medium. Maybe it's about music or dancing, because this is very much the area of Pisces. So whatever it is, you'll be swimming, you know, deeper through life, through the seas of imagination, through the seas of kind of unknowing in a way as well, until Mercury pops out of there, which is going to be next month. And then finally the Sun joins the other two on the 22nd, and that means that you will be, that area will be even more emphasized by the Sun energy, which is more, you know, introspective. It's more like groups of people behind the scenes connecting with those who are in like a bubble, a special bubble with others. So maybe it is a special group that you are connecting with, whether that is for healing purposes or some other kind of institute or center or sanctuary or retreat. All of these sorts of things could be going on with the Sun, Mercury and Venus there. As the month began, Mars was actually in this area already and had been over the whole of November. So Mars, you know, likes to roll up his sleeves. He's very kind of macho. He likes to get things going. He's the instigator. He's the catalyst in many ways. And maybe you have been, as I said, working on things, you know, away from the sight of others, working on something behind the scenes, working more in a kind of in camera. That's always a nice way, you know, in secret, and being more sensitive and self-reflective in general in life. Also, maybe it wasn't work, you know, maybe it was just something that you were getting into that you were enjoying. However, this is the area of higher service. So with Mars in there over November, you would have had to have been there for others even when you were so not in the mood, because that's why it's the area of higher service. There's no ego allowed into this area, and we can all do with a little bit of, you know, learning how to just cooperate and show goodwill and be kind every now and again, because the planetary energies work better if we are looking for solution, looking for resolution, looking for being compassionate, being sympathetic, being kind. Did I say that word? Well, you can't say that word too many times. Not only to others, but also to yourself as well as that. And also, because Mercury is in there very much getting wrapped up in something, you know, completely taken out of yourself as well, and tapping in with source for some of you, very much so, with all those energies in that background area there. Okay, so they've all moved out, and the time to watch out for is between the 19th and the 26th, where they're all in this area I call the cocoon, or the catalyst. Not the catalyst, the cocoon, or it could be actually with Pluto there, very much so, the cocoon or the chrysalis, that's it, because between the 19th and the 26th, the Moon and Venus and Mercury are all going to go over Pluto. So there might be some kind of squaring up to some kind of inner truth going on there, or sudden like blast of realization about something, you know, and it's a kind of got a breakthrough feeling with it. It's kind of got a feeling of transitioning into new thinking, new realizations, new habits, new routines, new whatever the newness is about, because Pluto is connecting to Uranus, and Uranus is your ruling planet, and Uranus is in your house of communications and also the way you're thinking about the world. So there could be a little epiphany, you know, and it might mean that you've got to be a bit humble. You've got to be able to let go of a previous assumption or relation or whatever it is, letting go of something in order to transition through, because you need to get to the bottom of this. Where does this feeling come from, or, you know, what is underlying this particular circumstance or whatever it is. And yes, and that sounds interesting there. Okay, and then Saturn. Now Saturn, well, first of all, Mars comes into your sign. This is very important, of course. Mars is in your sign at the same time as we got this rather sort of self-reflective indrawing energy of the Sun and Mercury and Venus. And with Mars in your sign, you've got to take action on things, because Mars is about being physically, dynamically achieving things. So I don't quite know how that's going to work out for you, but you need to take decisions, and you'll be more in the mood to. You'll just want to do it. Actually, the previous area that Mars has been in over November, up until the 5th of December, can have lowered your vitality. And now with Mars coming into your sign, it tends to, of course, everybody's different, but it tends to boost vitality. So it's definitely time to catch up with things, get things sorted, go for those ambitions, whatever they are, be more assertive, be more out there in the lead, and you might be more opinionated. You very much might come across in a very sort of kind of strong way towards others, because you can see it. Why can't they see it? You know, why aren't they getting it? So you've got to try and sort of add a little bit of diplomacy in, I think, and try not to get overstressed or overstretched, because you're doing so much, and you can be very successful and productive. Now, Saturn has been in the top of your chart since October 2012, helping you to slowly rise up the levels of whatever. It's to do with your standing, it's to do with your responsibilities as well, it's to do with your standing in the wider world, your status, and just be careful, you know, that you don't go for what others expect of you, because actually Saturn's very traditional. It's about authority figures, it's about the expectations of society, etc. So try to stay true to yourself. However, you can, as I say, slowly rise up, and you will have been, because Saturn's about to move out of there and is moving into a more helpful angle to your sun sign, and it's moving into a very strong place for you, actually, into your 11th house of friendships, of not what you know, but who you know, group connections, networking, anything to do with the internet, anything to do with technology, anything to do with progressing into a new area, a new kind of social set indeed. But you will again have to, as always with Saturn, build it brick by brick, and sort of inch by inch. And you Aquarians born in the first couple of days, or with 0 to 1 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most. The previous position of Saturn up until the 24th will be for you Aquarians born in the last 10 days, or with from 26 degrees rising, feeling the energy the most. And then Jupiter is opening the way to new growth through personal or professional alliances. Jupiter's in your opposite sign, Leo. And because of key associations, your horizons are going to broaden, and there could even be someone special coming into your life if you're looking. But also you would be seen by the other as having a knowledge, having a background, having a culture, having a language, having an expertise that they very much are curious about, that they admire. And also it's more likely that you will find somebody, or maybe it's a series of people whose backgrounds and culture and language, etc., knowledge, you admire as well, and you get a lot from. And you Aquarians born in the middle 10 days, or with 20 to 23 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most this month. And I think that's just about it for December. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. And also I need to wish you a happy time over the festive season. Have a wonderful warm, loving time. Don't work too hard over the festive season, and I'll see you again soon with the stars for the whole of 2015.